Welcome to the 101st edition of Quote, Quibble and Question, your weekly leadership development fix from me, Matt the Coaching Guy. This week's theme, loose lips sink ships. We've all heard it, a leader in a room thinking out loud, an idea dangled like a carrot, then snatched away. Sidebarred conversations whispered on the edge of projects. Over-communication, disjointed communication, premature communication. Leaders who talk too much often act too quickly. They bypass the very people who are closest to the work. They step over colleagues, skip consultation and bulldoze the agreed process, all in the name of speed or decisiveness. The result? Confusion, distrust, a team in limbo instead of feeling trusted. Because let's be clear, dangling ideas you're not ready to commit is not vision. Offline conversations is not collaboration. Announcing half-baked thinking is not transparency. Skipping process and trampling over people is not leadership. Leaders often mistake this mix of behaviour for early engagement. The truth is, it isn't engagement at all, it's noise. And noise erodes trust faster than silence ever could. And be clear, when you say keep it to yourself, but still behaving consistently, saying one thing to one person, something else to another, or bypassing the team entirely, they are talking. And they are talking amongst themselves, they're talking about you, your approach, your credibility, and whether you can be trusted to lead them at all. So your quotes for this week are, the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place, George Bernard Shaw. When words are many, sin is not absent, but he who holds his tongue is wise. Proverb 10:19. Wise men talk because they have something to say. Fools because they have to say something. Plato. Trust is built in drops and lost in buckets. Kevin Plank. And so your quibble this week. I do think that there is an important difference between sharing a vision of where you're going and airing half-informed ideas about the direction that impacts people's lives. One inspires and creates alignment, the other unsettles and creates anxiety. Leaders must know the difference. A vision provides direction and energy. A premature idea about roles, structure, or change to people's work creates uncertainty, distraction, and distrust. On the surface, sharing information ahead of time is seen as noble, transparent, efficient, and provides clarity. But if you lift up the lid, cracks start to appear. What feels like transparency and decisiveness at the top often lands as instability and disregard at the bottom. When leaders speak before they're ready or act without consultation, the disruption is far greater than they can imagine. Direction becomes volatile. Even every half-thought idea is treated like a change in strategy. Teams scramble to react, only to have the ground pulled away from under them when the leader does not follow through. Morals erode. People stop believing what they're told. Every announcement is met with skepticism. Will this even happen? Processes get undermined. When a leader bypasses an agreed system, it signals the rules are optional. Soon, others follow. Consistency dies. Collaboration collapses. Teams start to hold back on ideas, waiting for the next big announcement from above. The psychological safety to contribute disappears. And talent disengages. High performers, the one who crave clarity and trust, quietly check out or start to look elsewhere, silently quitting. And here's what's more important. Even though the leader's intent is positive, trying to be transparent, decisive and engaging, the impact is corrosive. Teams don't feel included, they feel dismissed. They don't feel empowered, they feel disrupted. It isn't leadership, it's noise and disrespect. Loose lips and rushed decisions don't just sink ships in wartime, they sink projects, progress and trust in leadership. The ripple effect of careless communication and careless action is devastating. False starts, teams waste energy chasing ideas that never stick. Confusion, mixed messages and sudden change paralyse decision making. Disempowerment, people closest to the work feel ignored and stepped over. And distrust, the leader's word or actions no longer hold weight. So how to communicate and decide with consistency and impact. Pause before speaking or acting. Ask, do you need to share this now? And do you need to decide this now? Separate thinking from deciding. Explicitly label it. This is me thinking out loud, not a decision. Respect the process. Use the structure you've agreed on. If it's too slow, fix the process. Don't bypass the people. Create safe environment points. Structure when and how ideas move from exploration to consultation to decision. And balance transparency with timing. Share enough, soon enough, but not everything all the time. And so your question for this week is, as a leader, are your words and actions creating clarity, trust and respect, or are they creating noise, disruption and resentment? Thanks for listening to this week's newsletter. If you have any subjects you'd like to hear more about, do drop me an email at matt@thecoachingguy.co.uk. Or if you're considering coaching and want to explore how I can help, drop me a DM on LinkedIn and let me show you how I can help you. Have a great week, everyone.